Hi everyone, blessed be. So start off with a thin strip of paper and then fold your next strip of paper in half and wrap it around the first strip. You want it facing right, not left though, so you'll see I'll turn it around in a second. So that first piece of paper is through the loop of the second. Then take another piece of paper, fold it in half. I've pre-folded some of these and wrap that around the first piece of paper that you had. So you form a cross shape like this. Then at this stage you need to turn the cross once you've done this bit. So I'm putting the paper over the one on the right, turning to the left, putting the piece of paper over all the ones on the right. Make sure they're nice and secure. It's a bit fiddly at first, but after a bit it sort of holds itself together. Turn to the left, put the paper over and under the pieces of paper on the right, or whatever you're using, could be reeds or grasses. Go over and under the pieces on the right, turn your whole project to the left and do the same again. So I'm going under and over all the ones on the right, holding everything together and then turning to the left. Going over and under all the ones on the right, turning to the left. Going over all the ones on the right, turning to the left. And just keep going until you've finished using your pieces of paper, as many as you want to make. You can make it as big or as small as you like. I'm just going to add a couple more. Now I'm using paper straws here, but you can use grasses, reeds, anything like that, straw, that sort of thing. But I hadn't got anything like that, and because my asthma's been playing up, I want to just make sure I don't use anything that's going to trigger any allergens. Once you get to the end, push up the loop at the bottom so that it will fit the ends of the last piece you put on inside it, and then pull everything together like so, and that will just secure that last piece you put in place. And then it's just a case of just tightening everything back up, just pushing those final loops on each section down so it's nice and secure. And you can see that the square shape in the middle. This works better if you use like a grass or reeds, but I hadn't got any. And as I said, I'm not using anything that could trigger allergies at the moment. But you can make them from paper, that's fine. And then what you need to do is secure the ends so you can make sure it doesn't come detached, so it stays together. Now, what I've used here is elastic bands. It would be better probably to use elastic bands that fit in with the colour of Imbolc, so like some yellows and whites, and you know, it depends if you want to go more for the sort of new growth and fresh starts, or whether you want to go for sort of more spring colours like your greens and your whatever colour flowers pop up, so like greens and yellows and things. And I couldn't find my colourful ones, so what I've done is just grab the ones that I use for my hair, so they're little black ones. And what you need to do, by the way, the current gap in the filming is me trying to find my elastics. I don't know where I'd put them, so I had to have a look around. But I thought I'd still leave it in so we can have a little chat. And I'm just wondering, what are you doing for Imbolc? Are you doing anything nice? Do you have anything planned? For me, it's making Brigit's crosses and planting some seeds and just enjoying the time of the year, because I like this time of the year where it's still quite cold, because I prefer the cool. So yeah, let me know what you're planning. Right, anyway, I've now successfully found my elastics. So what you need to do is tie the ends like so. So just bunch them together and wrap your elastics around. And these paper straws, not plastic, these paper straws I found at the local pound shop. So if you're stuck and or you want the kids to do this as a little craft project for Imbolc, then pound shop is probably your best place to go. I hunted high and low for paper straws. I wanted to get some that were like, there was some wheat straws I saw, but I couldn't order them, so I ended up sticking with these. Oh well, I would prefer sort of more natural, but I mean, paper's natural, isn't it? You know what I mean? So it's just, it's been processed a bit more and it's got this gold stuff on, so it's a bit bright, but never mind. I would prefer like a plain colour for Imbolc. So like last time I used like these, it's like a rattan type stuff, but I haven't got anything left, and the stuff I used before was a bit old now. So, oh well. So yeah, and then once you've tied your ends together, all I'm doing here is just replacing this elastic to make sure everything's nice and secure. And then just replacing the elastic like so. So that's the first way you can tie a Brigit cross. You can also make it into a, is it a trisket? Do they call it a trisket? Basically, one with three arms instead of 4. So what you do is you take your strip of paper and fold one in half and wrap it around the first piece, and then as you can see I've bent it slightly so it forms like a Y shape. It's a bit awkward to maintain the shape at first, but you'll see how over time it changes the shape. I'm making sure I've got one that goes over the top that way as well, very similar to when I started the Brigit cross, except what I'm doing is I'm making the what's sticking out on the left join what I've just put on. So I'll go over the top of everything, and then everything on the left I bunch together. You'll see me do it again. I had to start again because it's a bit awkward. So go over the top like this, and the mistake I made is I should have gone underneath like that for the one that points the other way. Then bunch together the 2 pieces that are at the bottom like so, well, 2 pieces on the left, and hold that in place, and then put your folded piece on the ones that you've just bunched together like so. Then everything on the left bunched together, turn so that that's at the bottom, and then add your new piece over all the ones that you're holding bunched together like so. You'll start to get a little triangle forming, which means you're on the right path. Grab everything that's on the left together and turn and hold it tight. Wrap your new piece around the ones that you're holding, bunch everything on the left together, wrap around the ones that you're holding in your hand, bunch everything on the left together, wrap everything in your hands and bunch together on the left and hold it tight. And you can see that triangle shape is forming. So wrap everything that you're holding in your hand, bunch everything on the left together and turn. Wrap everything that you're holding in your hand together, bunch everything on the left and turn. And keep going until this is as big as you want it to be, or until you're starting to realise that the canes or straws or whatever you're using are not quite long enough to get any further. Like so. And just keep going until you're happy with it. I've never made the Triscuit one before, so that's why it took me a couple of goes. But don't worry, if it takes you a couple of goes, you can always undo it and redo it. It's no problem. Can be tricky to get the hang of at first. And like grasses and reeds would hold their position a bit better. Okay, so now I'm reaching the stage where the straws aren't long enough, so I'm going to take the loop at the top. I'm going to thread through the piece I've just added, and then I'm going to pull all the end pieces nice and tight to make sure the pieces are going to stay together, like so. And then I'm giving it a bit of squeeze to make sure it's flattened out. And then it's a case of tying the ends together in little bunches. Again, I'm using elastics here. You can use ribbon, you can use wool. Wool would be quite good, as obviously it's associated with Brigit because she's like the goddess of like livestock and the hearth and the home. And also you could write poetry because she's goddess of poetry and of the forge, so you could light fires for her, you could write poetry for her, light candles for her. You can make a Brigit's cross like I've done here. You can make a Brigit doll. You can make a little bed for your Brigit doll to welcome the spirit of the goddess into your home for good fortune for the year. And you can hang these around your home for good fortune and then remake them the following year. Blessed be. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.